Hello, Internet. How are you today? I hope you're doing good. I am drinking some Cabernet Sauvignon, and I want to talk to you about being petty. Now, I know I haven't done many in this series in a while, but I want to bring this up because I've noticed on the YouTube wavelength that the quote-unquote discard has been coming up a lot lately, right? If the narcissist discards you, what if you discard the narcissist? So this is where I'm going to be very, very honest about the level of pettiness that I have. I want to tell you how to discard the discarder. And I'm going to tell you in two parts. I'm going to tell you when you are dating a narcissist, because this will happen. And I will tell you how to divorce a narcissist, because it will happen too. This is coming from the perspective of a straight, heterosexual female. Also, I will tell you this, that this is kind of advanced SuperNovanomics, if you want to call it that. And this will definitely get a lot of raised eyebrows and waggled fingers my way, because it is very narcissistic. It's a very narcissistic move, but I'm only telling you this because I went through this 3 times before I got it right? I was discarded 3 times. I was discarded twice publicly in the most heinous ways possible. And then the 3rd time, I basically jumped the gun and got the narcissist first, right? So let me tell you in sections what's going to happen when you are dating a narcissist and the discard is coming. You'll know, right? Because I guess you can say the love bombing phase will start to slow down. You can accelerate this, which I've always said from the very beginning of all of my videos, is never sleep with a narcissist. If you really want to accelerate their behavior and see it come up to the forefront like a rash, don't sleep with them no matter how hard they try. It will frustrate them because they can't control you, right? So that narcissistic behavior is going to come up to the surface a lot quicker than if you sleep with them, right? But the discard will come, you'll know, because the calls will stop or they'll slow down to a trickle. When they hang out with you, they're going to act like they're bored with you, right? Before they were all up in your grill asking you questions. You guys were doing everything fun, blah, blah, blah. And last, they will always either be on their phone or they'll talk about a certain person. Typically, when a narcissist is about to discard you for someone else, you've already seen this person before, right? Or you know this person, or you know of this person. It's always going to be somebody that you know. They're not going to have some weird ass stranger, right? Because when they discard you, they want to make sure that you see it, right? They want to make sure that you feel it. They want to make sure that you suffer, right? And how else can you suffer? What better fuel, quote unquote, is it to watch someone suffer when it's someone they know, right? So you're going to wonder, how is this going to happen, right? Now, if you're dating, not living together, not married, but if you're dating, narcissists, at least from my experience, they always want to make sure they make it public, right? Either if they're overt or covert, they want to make sure it's public. It's in a public place where you can see it. And every single narcissist I've ever dated always had the same MO. If we're going to the movies, like the first part of the day will always be fine. Dinner, movies, whatever. When it's just one-on-one, it'll be fine. But then they'll excuse themselves and they'll go somewhere else. Or they'll suggest that you guys afterwards go get drinks at a bar or go to a party that the friend is throwing or something like that. That's where the new supply will be, all right? The new supply either will be waiting or they know that the new supply will be there. And then you're just like, you're oblivious. You don't know what's going on. And so you're like, okay, well, yeah, let's do that. Let's go to this bar. Let's go to this party or whatever. Basically, they're going to try and take you from a neutral turf to their turf, wherever it is. Like they know the MO and you're walking in blind. And so when you get there, you don't really know anybody. So you're already kind of anxious, And so you're just kind of looking for your date or whatever. And then you see him talking to her/him in the corner. But they want to make sure you see it, right? And they're all snuggly and whatever. But they're not going to come to you and tell you anything. They're just going to kind of look your way and laugh and let you kind of eat all of that fucking dog food that they've planned for you, right? Because remember, the new supply knows about you already, knew about you before you knew about them, right? And they think that they can treat the narcissist better. So they're kind of in cahoots with each other when it comes to you. And for me, I saw this multiple times and it sucked. It was painful. I left, especially if you drove with a narcissist. They're going to make you get it like a cab by yourself or an Uber. Like you have to do that walk of shame. I'm going to have you stop that. You're not going to do that anymore. Here's what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to tell you how to discard the discarder. So then you'll know. When these symptoms of the boredom and the distance come up, you know the discard's coming. So keep that in mind. When the narcissist invites you to a date, just ask like, oh, are we just going to see a movie? Are we just going to dinner and blah, blah, blah? Because, basically make a lie. Like I said, this is not nice, okay? But this is how you're going to fucking stomp a mud hole in their ass. And they want this to happen. They want this theater to unfold because it's going to excite them, right? They want the drama. So what they're going to do is they say, oh, well, I was thinking like afterwards we can go to this bar or we can go to this party or blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. That's fine. So let's just say you go to dinner. You go to dinner. Dinner's great. About 20 or 25 minutes before dinner's over, excuse yourself. Go to the bathroom. Trust me, you'll be fine. Call up your Uber, call up your Lyft, call up your cab, and go to the party. Be sure you know where this party is first. Like get the address, right? Because you have to, because you have to go to work the next day, right? You want to make sure that you have some kind of way to get there. And the narcissist will tell you because they're stupid. Because they're salivating at the mouth for this drama to go ahead and discard you. They're not going to realize what you're doing. When you're in the bathroom, make sure you have the waiter or waitress distract the narcissist or the movie's still going, and you leave. Now, you don't leave and go home, but you can do that. You can do that and just not say anything. You can completely pull a ghost if you really want to be brutal, but you want to go ahead and see the discard from your end, right? You want to see the tables turn. So you go to the party first and you don't tell them. You don't tell them. Because by the time you get there, even if the new supply is there and waiting for them and you, it's going to be too late. And that's what you want. Because by the time the narcissist gets that phone call, the movie's not done. The check has been paid for dinner. Right? Like you basically pulled a ghost on them. So even if the new supply calls them and says, hey, do you know so-and-so is here already? Where are you? They have at least 45 minutes to an hour to catch up to where you are. But by that time, it will be too late. Now, when you're at the party, this is where if you are awkward and socially awkward, I would say just ghost and go home and call it good. But if you're not, if you're like me, you who the new supply is, right? It's kind of like, you are going to be the queen bee of the party. You're going to make sure everyone knows you first. And even if they ask, like, oh, aren't you so-and-so's girlfriend or boyfriend or blah, where are they? And say, oh, I don't know. We got separated, but I wanted to get here first and, make sure that they have some time. You don't have to give them a straight answer. You don't. The whole point is that you're basically going to wedge yourself into the group before the narcissist basically gets the upper hand on you. And pick one person. Pick a dude, pick a chick. It doesn't really fucking matter. It doesn't matter. And then you talk them up. You basically become best friends. You basically flirt. You basically find that person that's going to be the substitute love interest when the narcissist walks in and sees you. Is this nice? No, it's not nice whatsoever. But this is the point. You are beating the narcissist to the discard. That's the whole point of this. So when the narcissist comes in, not only will you see the new supply, because they're going to be like, so-and-so's here and they're talking to so-and-so else. They're talking to Becky. They're talking to, whatever, to whomever. And, we didn't know where you were and blah, blah, blah. The narcissist is going to have an immediate narcissistic injury because they've been played. And not only have they been played, they've been replaced at the same fucking time. And then you excuse yourself politely. You see the narcissist like, hey, I'm sorry about that. I told you I had to go to work and, I just decided to come here early. I figured you would go ahead and just follow me. You're on your phone a lot, blah, blah, blah. And then you leave. Now, the narcissist is going to do one or two things. They're going to try and play it off because they don't want to be embarrassed in front of the group of their people, which are now your people. And they're like, oh, yeah, I'll call you later and blah, blah, blah. But you're going to see the rage just frothing and seething behind their eye, that of a demon, of a pissed off imp. Or they're going to cause a scene. But you've already made friends with their friends. So the friends are going to break it up because the narcissist is a downer, right? They're a downer and they're ruining the fucking party. And then you go home. And if you were really good and you got a number from that person that you were chatting up and flirting with, they'll escort you to your car, to your Uber, to your Lyft, and then they'll tell you to call you later because obviously the person you're with, your boyfriend or girlfriend, doesn't know how to treat you. Now, why do I suggest doing this? Because narcissists get off on discarding you. They get off on it. They get off on it because that's the start of the pain Olympics for you. And that's the start of the pain Olympics for them. But they're the spectator and you're fucking running, the long jump. All right. But when you do it this way, you are telling them that you are not the one. And you're also showing them that they're not as smart as they think they are. See, the whole thing about dealing with narcissists when it comes to their evil ways is cunning. Plain and simple. I always say that narcissistic people are stupid. I still stand by that. But they are very cunning people. You don't have to be smart to be cunning. You just don't. But when you beat them at the punch for this, they won't forget it. And on top of it, you've shown the new supply. As the famous Nina Simone would say, you can have them. And then the supply is going to look at the narcissist too, like maybe you weren't all that great after all. So you've already basically kickstarted the rocks that will be in the relationship, and you didn't even try. So that's it for me, internet. Hopefully this will help. But this is a warning. This is advanced stuff. This is stuff that's going to cause a narcissistic injury, and you don't know what kind of rage this person is going to give you. So you should be prepared for it because it's going to happen. I would suggest after doing this that you go no contact and you block them on everything because the smear campaign and all this other stuff is going to happen. But you've already got your revenge and you already set up your next date. So there you go. Have a good one.